Coming to you from the Ultra Staff Studios in Chicago, welcome to the Staffing Buzz Network with your host, Bob Petke. Hello, loyal Staffing Buzz Network viewers and listeners. I am Bob Petke, the host of the Staffing Buzz Network, also the Chief Sales Officer here at Automated Business Designs with Ultra Staff Edge. And today, we're going to bring on a silver sponsor that's going to be present at our Eduvation conference for Ultra Staff Edge users on April 21st in Oak Brook, Illinois, at the Drury Lane Theater. And for those Ultra Staff Edge users that have not registered yet, click on this QR code. Boom. Right here. Click on this QR code. Get yourself registered if you haven't done so already. It's going to be an opportunity for you to sit down with subject matter experts here with Ultra Staff Edge, mingle with people that are like you that are on the software, maybe pick up tips, tricks, and techniques to make sure that you're utilizing the software the best way that you possibly can. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's the sensation that's sweeping the nation. It's Eduvation Ultra Staff Edge, backed by popular demand, April 21st. And here's the deal. We're also going to piggyback on the Midwest Staffing Conference, one of the largest regional conferences in the country. Expect a big, large attendance. And for people that are Ultra Staff Edge users, it's the same spot, super convenient. So make a trip out of it. Stay another couple of days and attend that session as well. And when you go ahead and click on this, or when you register, we do have special pricing available for those Ultra Staff Edge users. So let's get started. I am excited today because I'm going to bring on our silver sponsor from 522 Productions. Did I say that right? Alisa, Vossen, welcome.
Hey, everyone.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, Bob.
Hey, I'm 6 cups of coffee in if you haven't figured it out already. So let's go. So you're going to be at, well, first of all, we're thankful for your silver sponsor for the conference, and we're so glad, and we want to welcome you to the conference. But tell us a little bit about yourself and talk to us about your organization.
Would love to. First, I do want to say I love that this client meeting is happening on Drury Lane. I don't know that many people are connecting the dots, but I definitely am coming with my gingerbread team to kind of meet everybody at the conference. So I'm with 522 Productions. We are a creative content agency located here in Washington, D.C., and we work with a magnitude of different clients across the globe. When we started back in 20 years ago, 2004, we were ad agency executives who fell in love with the medium of video and all things content creation. And we worked our 9-to-5 jobs and started the company from 5 to 2 just to get our leg up and get our content going. And we've just organically grown the agency to be a premier content creating company across the globe. So it's been really fun to work with. And we do all things content creation. And I think what we do really best is that we create content specifically for audiences who really want to care and watch about it. You know, there's always been like content's king and like you're just sending content out. Everybody's throwing stuff on social media. But you know, honestly, if people aren't watching it or looking at it or knowing why they need to do with it, that content means nothing to them. So we've really have used our expertise to specialize in humanizing brands to a way that people actually care to be a part of their brand, not only from a psychological perspective, but like a physiological perspective, so that they can really, really harness the power that these companies bring to America. And we love working with small businesses because we really love taking them to the next level. But, you know, 522 does all things content creation. That could be video production. It could be social media. It could be marketing. It could be website design. We do social media strategy. We also work with marketing agencies on PPO strategies, as well as like SEO, like if they have strategic plans, but they don't have the right content or designers to execute it on, that's where we make really great collaborations. So we have been working a lot with some staffing industry agencies, and we found a little niche here that we thought, holy crap, we can really help kind of let these agencies stand out a little bit better. Maybe, you know, they're all fighting for the same thing. So how can we make them all look a little bit different and help kind of elevate their brand? So we really are excited to go to this conference and just meet a bunch of people and start learning more about the industry and seeing how we can help be a solution for them, problem solvers for maybe some of their bigger challenges that they're having.
Yeah. In the staffing industry, part of what, and I'm a seasoned KG veteran in the staffing industry. And one of the things that we have to do is and I'm going to tie this back to your content here, but we have to post our jobs out. Just post a job. And oftentimes there's a terminology when you don't do it strategically, where we had a term and it was called post and pray. I'm going to post it out there and I pray people respond. So what you're telling me through social media and through the other venues that you post content, that there's actually a strategy to it.
There has to be, and here's the other piece of it. There always has to be a strategy, but what I find oftentimes is that we have some companies that design these giant big strategies, but maybe our internal people don't know how to implement on them. They don't actually have the ideas, or they're just like, I need to put this job posting out. Let's do what everybody else is doing. Let's get it up on ZipRecruiter. Let's get it on Indeed. But if you have a specific audience that you're trying to attract and you have this job applicant that you need to recruit, there are magnitude of different things that we can do to get into that world in order to get them to respond. And one of the things that we have been focusing on from a broader umbrella perspective of recruitment is that we've kind of divided it into two spaces when it comes to content. There's recruitment, which we find is like the short term, we need to quickly fill this immediate job vacancy. And this is the strategy of the content that we're going to put out there. But then there's this whole nother world and thought process of talent acquisition, which is a longer, more strategic approach to building pipelines and building the brand around the pipeline and in the positions and careers that we're trying to recruit for, right? And if you have a career track that you're trying to build a pipeline to, where you get somebody in at entry level, well, then how are you going to build them to mid range? And then how are you going to get them to manager? How are you going to get them to senior leadership? Well, as long as people keep growing through your talent acquisition, you're still going to have jobs to fill. So you need to marry those two strategies with the proper content that a lot of companies don't actually, they don't adhere to, right? They're just like, I got to fill this one job. Let's get this one and then we'll get to the next one. Let's do this one and we'll get to that next one, without thinking about what the long-term and the short-term play looks like. And that's sort of where our expertise kind of comes in, is kind of understanding that audience journey through the whole staffing industry, from short to long-term. It could be contract to full-time. It could be part-time to hourly, who knows what it could be, but there's a lot of really creative and unique ways that we can touch people in a human aspect in order to get them to take action and fulfill these jobs that we know some are really challenging too to fulfill, and maybe not so ideal jobs. Well, how do we take the stigma out of these jobs to get more people to be, interested in them? So there's a lot of puzzle pieces that go into this. And I think that's what we do really well, is to take all the puzzle pieces and say, we're going to put these together because these are going to work really well. And this is how we're going to work with the marketing teams to make those connections and get a bigger ROI out of the strategies that the teams are working with. And to me, it comes down to the content, really comes down to the messaging, how you position the messaging, what that messaging looks like, and testing it to make sure that we're really being very powerful and relevant with the content that we're asking people to read and look at for us, because people's times are valuable. They're lazy. They don't want to read things anymore. They want quick sound bites. They want quick things that they can work with. So
I'm picking up what you're putting down, Charlie Brown. I'm with you. Let's talk about where we are today. Middle of March, 2026. You talk about people wanting to be able to not necessarily read things, but video, right? There's video things going on. There's big video trends that are happening. What are some of the biggest trends you're seeing to date? And how do you think staffing companies could utilize video to stand out?
Video, I can preach this all day long, is the most amazing and most effective marketing tool that everybody needs to have in their basically their marketing stack. And if you aren't using or don't use video, this is the biggest area that we can come in and help with. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions too. A lot of staffing agencies are just like, I don't know if I can afford it. It's a big ticket item. We can do quick social media stuff, but it doesn't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to be elaborate either. It just needs to be the right messaging, the right content. So for me, video is not a trend. Video is here to stay, and it is going to be the it platform for all things that are going to be involved in this. And so areas that we're working right now with staffing agencies, and the videos that we're creating for them right now are really going to be role-based micro ads. These can be very job specific. They could be clear perks like benefits, call to actions in terms of like what we want to work with. We've been doing a lot of day in the life of positions so that people can get a true understanding of like the career or the job that they're actually applying for without having to ask questions. Candidate stories are wildly successful, and they are super collaborative in terms of the brand being able to position our applicants into a job, their success. That kind of synergy actually creates a bigger impression and a more valid brand when it comes to the staffing agency. So if we're able to do success stories, client success stories, candidate success stories, those are all really tracking very well right now. What we're also doing for the hiring managers is a lot of like kind of micro interviews, and they're kind of training videos where they are able to sort of kind of describe different skills that they want. They talk about team culture. They talk about, if you helping the applicants understand the jobs that they're going to be applying for. And so we're doing these sort of HR training that, click here if you want to learn about this, and these are the skills that you need to have. These skills mean this. So it's kind of like FAQ style videos. The other piece is going to be a lot of vertical content, user gen content. If we can get our applicants to kind of give us like those like in real time success stories, or in real time, like I went to this job fair, here's who I talked to, here's how I talked to them. It was super easy. I filled out an application. Everybody should come and talk to this company. We're getting a lot of, if we can get those types of stories, which we can get, it's really just about asking people, hey, let's talk about our experiences so that everybody can see what it's like to be a part of this kind of environment, and being able to like spread the word a little bit faster. The other piece that we've been doing a lot of is training and safety videos. And I think this is very important for the staffing industry. And it's so much more cost effective to build a training or safety video and to have your team come into like a room for 4 hours or 6 hours. So the cost reduction that we're able to save companies and the staffing agency is been tremendous. So we've had a lot of success with that as well.
Outreach is just incredible, I'm sure.
It's phenomenal. It's so fun.
Yeah. Alisa, you're 522 Productions sponsor of Eduvation. What are you looking for? Let me try it again. What are you looking forward to in being, an exhibitor at Eduvation, the sensation that's sweeping the nation? What are you looking forward to? Why are people going to want to stop by your table, your booth?
Well, I'm going to have a really cool tchotchke. I'm going to have a really cool piece of merch, so everybody should come and get one. Besides that, one thing I'm really looking for, and we don't do a lot of conferences, this someone we decided we wanted to do because we really want to talk to people. We really want to make connections. We really want to hear the stories from small to large staffing industry organizations, and just understand their challenges, understand what they're up against, understand things that they wish they can do, understand what their growth strategies are. I think all of that really helps us kind of define the audience and start kind of building content that really, really is going to resonate. But if we don't make those connections and start networking with each other, it's sort of like, you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it, and then you don't know it and you don't know what to do about it. So we really want to just sort of like, we're building all of this great content, and how can we actually make it even better if we can talk to the teams that are there. It'll be really great to listen and learn from the keynote speakers, as well as the breakout sessions that are already planned, which seem very interesting and very cool. So we're looking forward. I think the thing that I'm looking forward, I'll be there in person, is really just meeting as many new people as I possibly can.
Well, it sounds like you've already created that niche in the staffing market. You said it, not me, earlier today. We said a lot of information in a short amount of time. Maybe one last thought of anything that you want to share. I know you've already talked why people should maybe want to attend. Anything more about you? You talked about tchotchkes. You might not have anything at this point, because we did a lot. But any kind of words of wisdom or anything that you want to leave us with before we sign off?
The one thing I think I want to be like, what I'm really looking forward to as well with this is creating a village of support system. Running businesses, being a part of business, you can't do it alone. And a lot of the smaller staffing organizations that I've been working with, right? We've got small business owners that they're doing the recruiting, they're doing the HR, they're also doing the marketing, and they're trying to do sales proposals at the same time. And then we have some larger ones that the marketing teams are like, we're just tapped out. We don't have enough people to keep up with everything. It takes a village to do all of it. So, if we can be a support system for everybody, if we can be a part of your team to help build that growth for you, to take some of those things off of you, that's what our team is built for. So we're really looking forward to hearing some of those business challenges. But outside of that, we just want to have fun. So if you want to have fun, stop by.
Yes, I do.
Let's have some fun and enjoy the day. It's going to be a great day. So looking forward to it.
No, we're glad to have you here. And like Alisa said, it takes a village. Let's all become part of the village people.
Yeah.
Make that happen.
Cue the song, Jennifer.
Cue the song, Jennifer. We'll see what happens here. There are copyright things we got to take into consideration. Alisa Vossen, 522 Productions. You're an absolute gem. Glad to have you here. And thank you again for your sponsorship. And the teams and the attendees are looking forward to having you at the Eduvation, April 21st at the Drury Lane Theater in Oak Brook. So thank you. We'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Alisa Vossen, 522 Productions, utilizing technology to go ahead and big outreach. There is a strategy to it. We all know that term in staffing, post and pray. Through the techniques that they have, through the strategy is a key component to what makes her offering special. And utilizing video, and like she said, there's nothing like video. Very exciting. I raise my hand and say I spend a lot of time watching a lot of short videos in the evening, and just one great way to reach out to your candidate base. One way to reach out to potential prospects and future clients. So we're glad to have her on. We're thankful for her sponsorship. And again, I'll say it again, and we're gonna go ahead and put that QR code right here. Look at that. Where is it? There it is. Click on it. Get yourself registered. Doesn't cost you anything. Be part of the Eduvation sensation, backed by popular demand. April 21st in Illinois, located between two convenient airports. If you're flying in, if you're going to be flying in, book your flight now. Get yourself registered. Make sure you can save costs on that. And then stay a couple extra days for the Midwest Staffing Conference. So with that said, guys, Bob Petke signing off for the Staffing Buzz Network here at ABD Ultra Staff Edge, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.